Hey there YouTube, this is the Happy Sad. I wanted to make a video real quick explaining something I did with my two oldest boys last summer. I noticed they were getting a little too friendly with the Wii and the PlayStation. They were starting to forget the smell of the fresh air and the feel of the sun on their skin. In fact, it was approaching the point where I'd have had an easier time convincing Dracula himself to go play catch or soccer in the front yard. So I did what any good red-blooded American father would do. I bribed them with something shiny. Now, I can already hear many of you protesting. Sharp things and children, is that really a smart combination? Well, for most children, probably not. But then my philosophy is different from many parents. My aim is not to protect my children from the world, but to prepare them for it. Too many children today are soft, weak-willed, and emotionally stunted. Not yours, of course, but I'm sure you've seen them. The sheltered, simpering spawn of inactivist parents who try to save their children the indignity of disappointment, loss, or sweat invested in a worthwhile goal. Now, I want my children to appreciate the things they have all the more because they know they have earned them. And I don't want them to be shocked when they grow into a world where not everyone gets a trophy just for showing up. So yes, there is risk involved in giving a child a pocket knife. But I'm not simply giving it to them and saying, here, have fun, good luck. Having a knife is not a right. It's a privilege and a responsibility. And as such, they had a lot to learn before they got their knives. In fact, I had a knife clinic that was built around the acronym CAREFUL. It was a 10-week workshop where I taught them important concepts and then supervised them as they worked on related projects. Each clinic lasted an hour, hour and a half, and we did it all outside, right there amid the summer sun and birds and bugs. So what does CAREFUL stand for? C is clean. Always keep the knife clean and lubricated. It's just safer that way. A stands for away, as in always cut away from yourself. R stands for respect. A knife is a tool, not a toy, designed to cut and or stab whatever is in front of the edge. The knife doesn't care whether it's a stick or a rope or a finger. I actually got all Mythbusters on them with this one and used raw chicken wings as a stand-in for a finger to illustrate what kind of damage could be done. E stands for edge. Essentially, a sharp knife is a safe knife because the duller the blade gets, the more effort you have to put into the cut. And if it slips, the more effort you're putting behind the blade, the more damage is likely to be done if it does slip. Alright, F. F stands for forethought. You never open or unsheath a knife unless you know exactly what you're going to do with it. Every second you have your knife open or unsheathed increases the odds that an accident can happen. U stands for uses. Never use a knife for anything other than its intended purpose. Different knives are designed for different tasks. Right? These knives have a completely different design than a knife like this. Alright? This is, of course, a Ka-Bar USMC fighting knife, and it was designed for slashing, stabbing, even digging. You're not going to do those with this knife. In fact, I have a scar where I learned the hard way as a youngster myself. Basically, I was trying to drill into a piece of wood, and it happened to close right on my finger. And not this knife, it was another pocket knife. But, so, that's uses. Never use a knife for anything other than its intended purpose. And L stands for laceration. If you use knives long enough, you're going to get cut. And it's important to know what to do if that happens. We didn't do knife clinic every day. It was usually every 2 or 3 days. And their behavior in the interim affected how frequently we were able to get to do knife clinic. The boys loved it. It helped to keep them motivated to behave well and do their chores so that we could have knife clinic with as little downtime as possible. and they've been eager, attentive students the whole way. In fact, at the dinner table, even when passing a butter knife, my oldest son correctly passed it handle first, and when my wife was cutting watermelon one day, the younger of the two got after her for cutting towards herself with the knife, which of course is the cardinal no-no of knifecraft. Of course, they are kids, so after they completed the course, we developed a point system. If they broke the rules or misused their knives, they got demerits. If you rack up too many points, the knife disappears and must be earned back with backbreaking labor, bribes, and flattery. And no, after Knife Clinic was over and all was said and done, they didn't actually get full custody of their knives. I keep them in a safe place, and when they want to use them for something, in keeping with the forethought aspect, they have to come to me and tell me in detail what they plan to do and how they plan to use the knife to do it. And they also have to show me that they already have all their materials gathered and ready for the project. And once they do that, I actually supervise, of course, to make sure that they are following all the rules. Ultimately, all of this is leading up to some camping trips that I'm planning for the three of us. And Knife Clinic, over the course of this summer, will lead into a few other clinics where we're going to ease our way out of the technology-dependent fun they've been accustomed to, the Wii, the PlayStation, the DSs they got for Christmas this year, and learn about plants and trees and campcraft and first aid and just some good old-fashioned tree climbing, knee scraping, fort building fun out in the backyard. Now, is this the right thing to do for everyone? Heck no. To be honest, most adults don't know how to use a knife properly. Basically, if you're thinking about doing something like this, if you don't know what the difference is between the spine, the belly, the heel, and the tang of the blade, if you don't know the difference between a ricasso and a choil, if you don't know the difference between a drop point, a clip point, and a spear point, and if you don't know at least 3 correct methods for safely gripping a knife to perform different tasks, then you should not try anything like this. It also helps to know what point a laceration moves from needing a band-aid to needing stitches, and what to do as first aid in each case. But if you do know these things, then this is a fun way to spend time with your kids outdoors, teaching them about patience and delayed gratification, and giving them a sense of accomplishment and a useful skill that will keep them safe around the campfire and in the kitchen. Now, if the parent doesn't have the knowledge and skills to pass on safe blade handling techniques, then yes, giving your child a knife would be terribly irresponsible. But the chances are you do have some knowledge and skills, and you can turn that into an opportunity to connect with your kids in a fun, enriching, and exciting fashion. Something that builds self-confidence and creates memories that are going to last them a lifetime. And in the end, that's what this is really about. If you would like to do something like this, there are plenty of videos out there on YouTube. Maybe I'll make some expanded videos on Knife Clinic and what we did, the lessons themselves, and the crafts and the exercises we did at the end to reinforce those concepts. But just watch some videos, educate yourself, and practice so that you do have the skills, and then you can do this with your own kids and give something that they can look at with pride, knowing that they earned the right to carry this. Whenever we do go hiking or camping or sometimes just play around outside, I do give them their knives to keep in their pocket. Anyway, so that's my video on Knife Clinic. Actually, I'll do a video on that a little bit later, but we just started a new clinic as summer's about to hit with their school, and we're doing Fire Clinic. So that'll be the next one. Maybe when I'm done with that, I'll make a new video on that and tell you how that went. Anyway, thanks for watching. I look forward to your comments. Remember, be civil. I'm not afraid to use the block button if I have to. You're welcome to offer constructive criticism, challenge my assertions and my assumptions. Just be civil about it, alright? So, look forward to hearing from you, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video.